On Sunday, September 8, 2024, the US Ambassador to Ireland, Claire Cronin, in partnership with Ground Zero 360, hosted a deeply moving 9/11 commemoration at the Ambassador's residence in Phoenix Park, Dublin, marking the 23rd anniversary of the attacks. Surrounded by members of the NYPD, FDNY, 9/11 families and Irish dignitaries, the group gathered solemnly at the 9/11 Memorial to honour the lives lost and the families forever changed by the events of that tragic day. Ambassador Cronin delivered an emotional and heartfelt speech, paying tribute to the resilience of the victims' families and the enduring bond between the United States and Ireland.
Still so important for us to remind people about the strength of what happened afterwards, the strength of our partners and allies, that all of the countries in the world that stood with the United States that day, and Ireland certainly was one of them.
In attendance was Irish Minister for Housing Darragh O'Brien, who spoke eloquently on behalf of the Irish government, emphasising the shared grief and unity that transcends borders.
Look, a very special event, a very emotional event. All of us who are old enough remember where we were on that terrible day, on the attacks on New York and in Washington, DC, and I think really events like today are so important that we continue to remember those who lost their lives, the first responders who responded and saved many others, but the people who are still suffering with the effects of those attacks right now today.
A 9/11 American flag presented by members of the NYPD and 9/11 families was gifted to Irish Customs and Border Protection as a symbol of solidarity and remembrance.
We are stronger together as we seek to ensure safety and protection for all of our citizens. Neither terrorism nor criminality confines itself to national boundaries. CBP could not do what we do without the cooperation of international law enforcement and the strength of the partnership here in Ireland. The audience today, along with the successes we have jointly shared, are a testament that we are better together. Thank you to the families and friends who have lost so much, but who continue to live, love, hope, and embrace the future. Thank you, Minister O'Brien, Ambassador Cronin, Mr. McCormick, for including CBP in such a dignified ceremony. And thank you, first responders, for your sacrifice, dedication, and service.
The Glenstall Abbey Boys Choir, travelling from Limerick, gave a powerful and moving performance that left a profound impact on all those present. Retired NYPD Chief Joe Fox made a poignant journey from New York to his ancestral homeland, speaking powerfully about his memories of 9/11 and the significance of being in Ireland to mark this sombre anniversary.
I think we had this unspoken fear that, when will the world forget? When will this just be something in history? So this today, 23 years later, and speaking to that man behind the counter in the hotel today, Carlos, who comes from Argentina, who stopped and talked about how he was 10 years old when he was in Argentina. He'll never forget this, and how they still do things there every year. And the fact that we're doing this with all of the, heads of this area, people in high positions. Those fears I had 23 years ago, I didn't need to have them, because no one will forget this. Generations that were not born then are remembering September 11th.
Among those attending was retired NYPD officer Jimmy Smith, who reflected on the memory of his late wife Moira Smith, a hero police officer who gave her life on that day. Their daughter Patricia Smith also made the journey to Dublin.
It's so lovely to see how the exhibit has grown and to see just all of the people we keep adding into this. Being able to speak with the ambassador and the minister, it's been great. Just hearing from other people outside of our small community that, you know, the sacrifices of people like my mom aren't going to be forgotten, that so many people are doing great work and trying to keep that memory alive.
We want to celebrate Moira. We want to celebrate her 22 brothers who also gave their lives on September 11th, and we don't want people to forget. And these events, you know, gives us hope that we're doing the right thing and that people aren't forgetting, you know, the sacrifices that so many made.
The grieving process never stops. It's been very long, 23 years. I think as we keep going and we still realize that we don't have any justice yet for these crimes, and bringing the attention to that through events like this I think is really important. I think it just will hopefully add another level of closure as we get closer and closer. But it's been a really long 23 years, and the pain and the sadness doesn't go away.
You know, the kids graduating from college today weren't even alive on September 11, 2001. So we have to keep instructing and keep educating to make sure people understand that what the sacrifices that were made and the courage of first responders is all about.
Over 100 cyclists from the FDNY and Irish Fire Services embarked on a 3-day memorial cycle, beginning at the 9/11 Memorial in Dublin and culminating at the 9/11 Memorial Garden in Kinsale, County Cork, a tribute to the shared sacrifices of both nations. At Cork City Hall, Ground Zero 360 held a special exhibition led by Lord Mayor Dan Boyle. The Lord Mayor, deeply honoured to host the exhibition, reflected on his personal memories of 9/11 and the global impact of that day.
Well, it's very much an honour, but it also highlights the ties that exist between Ireland and Cork in particular with the events of 9/11, where people for Cork were amongst the victims, and it's something we need to remind ourselves, and the honour of having this particular exhibition allows us to do so in a way where we also have the opportunity of meeting people from New York who have been intimately involved in those events and sharing those remembrances.
Artists from around the world contributed special pieces of art, each depicting their personal reflections and memories of 9/11, a visual testament to the tragedy and resilience that followed. A special presentation was made by Ground Zero 360 founder Nicola McLean to supporter Dolores McCall, all the way from Midland, Texas. The presentation featured a 9/11 painting, created specifically for Dolores by Nicola. For more information on Ground Zero 360, visit groundzero360.org or visit us on Facebook at Ground Zero 360.